All right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I will start with a brief introduction of Indian Road Safety Campaign, following which I'll hand over the session to our host, Mr. Ivy Rao sir. And so Indian Road Safety Campaign is the road safety initiative of SOLVE. It started as a project at IIT Delhi due to death of students in a road accident. IRSC has gradually grown to be the largest youth-led organization in India. We work across policy, law, medical, awareness, technical domains in an effort to attack the problem of 1.5 lakhs being lost from all ends across 50 plus cities. IRSC is currently working with people from United Nations, World Health Organization, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, various state governments, zonal policies, uh, Supreme Court, IITs, and other research centers across the world in its endeavor towards Vision Zero. We are involved in technical innovations. We also do school programs. Um, we also have an initiative to make law accessible to everyone. We conduct several awareness activities, fire, first responder and safe driving workshops, and policy fellowships. Journey to Safety webinar series is an initiative by Indian Road Safety Campaign. And it was launched with a vision to empower youth and bring all stakeholders together on one platform. This is an effort to discuss and learn about various aspects of road safety. In the series, we bring experts from various domains and industries to share their opinions and knowledge. Uh, we hope that this will motivate participants to take steps to achieve our goal of Vision Zero. Uh, Today's host is Mr. Ivy Rao sir. He is part of our board of advisory. And we have our speaker today, Dhirendra. This is his second session. Today's topic, we will be exploring driving under adverse conditions. Um, I'm going to hand over the session over here to Ivy Rao sir so that you can introduce the speaker and the session for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Swati. I once again welcome our guest speaker for today, Dr. Dhirendra Samineni, all the participants and friends. Good evening. I'm happy to host this webinar, 21st in this weekly series on road to safety. And today's topic is driving in adverse conditions for road safety by the Dr. Dhirendra. As you all know, IRSC is organizing these webinars with different stakeholders to understand their views and sessions for making roads safer for users. In spite of so many discussion debates happening over more than a decade, there are still gaps in understanding of the issues, and we continue to have road accidents. And and if you look back uh, in India, in spite of considerable progress in all the five pillars which have been identified by United Nations for actually reducing the accidents to zero by this year 2020, uh, we see a increasing trend in India, both accidents and fatalities. And we are still not getting to any reduction in these numbers. In 2018, uh, MWATH data about road accidents indicates increasing trend in number of accidents, about 4.6 lakh accidents and 1.4 lakh fatalities, with Tamil Nadu contributing maximum number of accidents and UP maximum number of fatalities. The big concern is the fact that 72% of fatalities are with mid-age group who are in the most productive phase. And today, the Sunday Times has published the summary of uh, study carried by TRIPP of IIT Delhi and DIMTS. They have come out with estimate of socio-economic cost of road accidents, and they come out with a figure of every person who is getting killed in accidents as 91 lakhs, and the cumulative impact of all accidents in 2018 they have estimated to be about 1.5 lakh crores. This was a study commissioned by our Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. And as you can see, this is a very heavy price being paid for the road accidents, which can be avoided if all the stakeholders come together and resolve to do what is expected of them. Just to give sense of what we had been discussing in the last few weeks, we had Dr. Nilima Chakravarti, Senior Principal Scientist, Traffic Engineering and Safety Research Area, CRI, who spoke about often neglected parameter, the condition of the driver, the influence of mental health on road safety. And few weeks back, we had Mr. Ravi Shankar Rajaraman, the Technical Director of JP Research India, talked about the accident analysis and power of the information for improving road safety. Last episode on 13th September, we had Dr. Sudarshan, Senior Deputy General Manager from Bridgestone India Private Limited, India subsidiary of world's largest tire and rubber company. He explained about importance of tire selection and maintenance of tire maintenance on the vehicle for safety on the road. All these issues are important for improving the road safety, but basic requirement is good driving to avoid any accidents. On 6th September, we had Dr. Dhirendra, the lead Safe Drive India, who explained about road safety education, pedestrian safety, traffic controlling, etc., and gave a lot of tips about defensive driving. Considering the great response from the participants about Dr. Dhirendra's presentation last time, we have requested him for one more session today about driving in adverse conditions. For the benefit of participants who are not present on 6 September, I would like to give brief introduction. He is a postgraduate from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and also diploma in auto and mechanical engineering. He also has a honorary doctorate in human rights and peace from Brazil. He is a certified level 2 trainer in Austria, from Austria, and lead auditor of ISO 39001. He is a road safety trainer auditor in India and abroad, having experience of imparting training for more than 150 plus industries, government sectors, etc. Has trained large number of people across India, Middle East, and Nepal. And he is also an expert in road risk analysis in India and Nepal and traffic management with the design of road signs and markings. He conducts train the trainer programs and road shows and crash analysis and accident reconstruction, etc. Today, Dr. Dhirendra is going to talk to us about driving in adverse conditions for avoiding accidents for road safety. Over to you, Dr. Dhirendra.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Yuvraj sir, and I thanks IRSC for giving the opportunity. So I'm sharing my screen. My screen is visible, sir?
Yeah, oh, not it.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Once again, I thank all the participants and IRSC organization for the opportunity. and for me also learning. So the session will go up to 5 o'clock. I'll stick to the time no today, and later on we can have some questionnaires. So the question makes me also to make me learn. So I too came for the learning. Uh, so my background anyway, I thank. I'm ex Indian Air Force personnel, 30 years in the automobile sector. I know in this participants we have a number of trainers also, and different areas, and please let me also know your experience later on. Okay, today the session will be on defensive in adverse condition. I think, Swati, I think you can look into the admit people. Okay, right. In adverse condition, in the sense difficult conditions. So what are those conditions? So we will look into that factor. So it was some 5-6 points. Then I thought of because of geographical condition, our environmental position in India across. So let me add up certain few things, which is also good for a defensive driving techniques and driving in on dusk and dawn. That means sun rising and sunsetting time, and driving at night driving, uh, driving at rain, fog, snow driving, bad road condition, maybe oily or oil and potholes likewise, and driving in hot summer, the tire problems, and driving through forest or national park, etc. And hill terrain, little bit important factor I will try to cover, and sandstorm and desert driving. So we'll try to cover all these things in by important points I'll try to cover. So dusk and dawn. Okay, these are the also cause for the accidents about. So let us understand, analyze how we can behave, how we can practice all this in these difficult conditions. So sun rising and sun setting, what are the problems we face during this time? So one, again, visibility is restricted. We can't see. Either it's a problem with the seeing as well as to be seen by others, because sometimes we are in a dark, right? And headlights. So in night driving, I'll try to cover what are the headlights. So here speed perception is poor. We cannot identify the proper, we cannot judgment won't be there, the vehicle judgment, either both the sides, and glare of a sun, right? So 1 minute. So one video just on, switch on the video. If you can see, just I made a pause. Every video, every slide I'll speak because of different bandwidth for different people. So here the timing, actually it's a 3 o'clock in the afternoon, around 3:30. The sun, not only sun rising and sun setting, sometimes you'll find difficulty after the siesta time, afternoon hours, and somewhere 9:30, 10 o'clock likewise. If you see this video, again, video is on. Video is on. I'll stop the video. So at one route, we find it's a completely dark, and it's a daytime, 3 o'clock, and at one point we find completely day. So the facing sun, so how we need to drive. The another, I'll tell you corrective action later on. So here the major problem we'll find during sun rising and sun setting, people switch on their headlight. First, we need to understand when I have to switch on my headlight. Okay, we'll discuss that. Continue headlight is on, that is different. So that we need, what happens on this period if you switch on the headlight, the scatter, and really if you are driving practically, and this will create a huge problem. And the speeds were more than 40, 50, even 70, 80 also at this point of time. So completely we can discuss in night driving. So coming to the point, there are not much. So only when I have to switch on my headlight during night time or dusk and dawn. So here night driving, again, the important factor. I got certain messages from different countries also, like Australia and UK. They were discussing, actually night driving is not a adverse conditions or a difficult conditions. Okay, understood. The adverse and difficult conditions may be rain, fog, and even wild animals. So, okay, but within our country, I feel this is also a very dangerous, and we need to understand how to drive during night. There are certain courses, even we conducted certain programs for the people, pre-dinner for classroom session and post-dinner for a practical session. So till midnight, how we can cater in the night driving. So I used to give for intercity buses also. So it's very important. The travel is completely on night. So what happens during night? Again, color contrast is decreased. Your peripheral vision is decreased. We are completely depend on your headlight. So whatever focus, okay, street lights are there, that is different. If there is no street light, only we are completely on headlight. There are certain times when on headlight, suppose where is my headlight? This headlight, the black portion. Now it is not there. The olden days, the technology now completely developed. So once there is a black paint on headlight, now we are depending totally on headlight. We are blinding ourselves when we are going on highway. That's the reason they have removed it. In 20 years back, it was the light. So what happened? The visibility decreases. So when I have to switch on my headlight, what as per CMVR 1989, what it says, or Motor Vehicle Act 1988, right? So it says after sunset, half an hour to, right? Then again half an hour before the sunrise, you need to headlight on. Clear? So here, two things again we need to understand, that is see and to be seen by others in a night driving. I am in this slide driving at night. Okay, as we discussed, this is the photo I have taken near my home. Same location, morning around 8 to 9 o'clock, right? Then again night 8 o'clock. If you see the street lights, you can see my left, the street lights here visibility. So what we understood, the day driving, night driving, completely different, entirely different, right? So here, again, the ability, the eye perception, you need to find out. Again, peripheral vision is decreased, so you cannot, and your speed. So what happens if you see directly the headlight? So first of all, for night driving, we need to do certain planning. That means planning your journey and your vehicle conditions, like this. You're good, and you're preparing. When we go for a war, or when you carry weapons and this thing, same way to protect yourself, you need all these things. So that is a planning your journey. Then again, headlight, your stop light, your indicators are working, your screen is very clear, no glare effect should come, and again wipers also. Then when there is a night with the combination of a rain, it's a really very difficult condition to drive. And maintenance of your vehicle part, again spare wheel, because night naturally all shops are closed, so you need to have a first aid kit, all this every time, not only during night time, it's every time we need to carry this, is especially when we go for a long drive. Now, okay, I'll shift here. Okay, headlight alignment and the speed. So headlight, this is our visual line. If you see my cursor visual line, the focus is around 50 to 55 meters around, and the illumination also can be visible. And the maximum speed. Okay, this is speeds again. It will be a controversy. Speeds may be different when there is no street light. When with the street lights, again speeds will be different. So here, the headlight. The first we should adjust the height of the headlight. Height of the headlight. So headlight focus also can be adjusted. Now, recent, if you see in your car, there are certain numbers are given, 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4. So if there are 7-seater car or a 5-seater car, 2 people are driving, then again 5 people are driving. So the focus to be aligned with your, so that you can see the road, curve of the road, left side of the road, or exactly focus is very clear, right? So in low, when low beam, your focus will be like this. Left side will be more, right side will be less. In when I was in military and other area, those days vehicle were different. The concept was only to keep headlight, right? One focus here, one focus other side. So it was a really circus when we used to drive. And actual road is not visible. Now technology is vast developed. See, you can see in low beam also. If you can see here in low beam, so oncoming traffic, the driver, we are not blinding the oncoming driver. So that is what the low beam. So here you can drive in low beam. People, when street lights are there, everything first class roads, straight away the blue light is visible. That means he's on high beam. So on high beam, what happened? The focus is more. The throw, the light will throw 100, 105 meters around, so that the visibility will more. Okay, little bit, because as per, so again, within your light, you need to drive. Suppose here, here, if I am going beyond this, I don't know, there may be a portal here, or there may be a truck, standing without stoplight or any parking light. So straight away, so you have to drive within your light headlight only, right? So this is on high beam, the focus. So again, your visual line. So this is the high beam. And anyone know about the stoplight? What rule says as per CMVR 1989? I think some of my Africa friends also attending. Okay, the stoplight. The stoplight visibility from a person within 100 to 155 meters, the stop line should be visible. The front one vehicle is there, the red color, it should be visible. And for two-wheelers, it is 75 meters. They are clearly mentioned in CMVR. Till 75 meters, your stoplight should be there. Some stoplights, the red color bulb is not bulb, that the cover is broken. It's again, we are confusion whether it is a headlight or it is a stoplight. Ensure you have a stoplight. I'm sorry, no stoplight, someone will come and hit us. So when you go for a night driving, you have to prepare for all these things, right? Then again, here, the peripheral, same thing, what we have discussed. The difference between, now here, especially vulnerable road users. Okay, I'm in a car, I have a airbag, I have a seatbelt, first class car, nothing will happen for me. But I have to take care about the other road users, especially vulnerable road user. I can describe very vulnerable road user, that is pedestrians and cyclists. Okay, two-wheeler also vulnerable road user, because these are the people, if we hit straight away, head to abdomen, means wheelchair guarantee. So we have to be very, very cautious about these people. Even a pedestrian here during night time, as I told in my last training also, once again, during night time, please ensure you have something reflective or something on ankle you can keep. This is available. Otherwise, just to show your torchlight, see and to be seen by others. Please remember. So understand, there is a difference between a 50 years age person or a heart patient or a 80 years person or a young boy. The crossing the lanes, it takes time. Each lane is 12 feet, and again 2 lanes you need to cross 24 feet. Then again it takes some 3 to 4 seconds at least. So this we need to. Now again, coming to the point, in night driving, and video is on, how practically we can happens. Glaring, nothing is visible. So if you see directly, I have stopped my video. If you see your headlight directly, we will become 2 seconds blind. 2 seconds blind in the sense, suppose you are driving your vehicle in 30 kilometer speed. I am driving in a 30 kilometer speed. So 30 into 1000 by 60 into 60. That means in 2 seconds, your vehicle will travel around 16 meters blindly. This room is okay. 16 meters blindly in 30 kilometer speed itself you are. And we don't know cattle is coming, pedestrian is crossing, blindly we are going it. So this is the major problem. Most of the trainings, whenever they say this is a problem, how to. Okay, how to rectify also we will discuss. So another problem we find during night time. This is another video. Video is on. Now this literally, okay, video stopped. Literally I was doing some survey, and when I traveling, I was surprised. There was a complete dark, because there is no street light, nothing. Straight away a fatigue person, drunk person is a 100% chances will be there, right? So here night, another problem is you find fatigue and drunk person night time whenever you are preparing, right? So here two things. Top one photo I have given, second one a photo I have given, right? Top is that you are only depending on your headlight. This bottom one is you are fine clear. So how practically you need to go? So this is, you can see my video also. You can see me, right? Enlarge video if you want. This is headlight. If I focus here, what happened? Headlight is on. We will also get angry. This tiger, I am also tiger. I will also keep my headlight on. That person is on, this person is on. He is blind, he is blind. Both blind people crossing each other. No idea. Will. So please don't blind the other people. What we need to do? So we need to keep in dim mode. That means we need to keep in first position so that he can see my vehicle. He will hit someone. I am safe. Ensure you are safe. So the meaning is very clear. This is to see, to be seen by others. Understand here. To see, to be seen by others. I am giving indicator here. Can the other person see my indicator? My intention? What is my intention to other road users? He can't see. So you keep in dim mode and he can see your indicator. What you want to do. So you need to explain to other people. Never see headlight here directly. If you see here directly, 2 seconds we will become blind. So practically when you are driving on night driving, where I have to see the peripheral vision of the headlight. See, if you can see here, this is this portion. You try to practice it. And when I was a becoming trainer, they told, okay, it took 10 to 20 days for me to get it practice. See, we need to practice. When we make a practice, it will become a habit. Then we can develop that culture. Yes. Whenever there is a headlight, straight away, automatically, my concentration will be on left side. Right. Another part. So, completely never overspeed that, and especially remember, sir, still we have fatigue people, drunk people, especially those who are on driveway. Still truck drivers, they drive. Helpers, they are driving, they are practicing it. Now, please, let us not discuss that is enforcement problem, road problem. See, 80 to 90% every training, everyone, they say it's a human error. Let us concentrate the major part. We forget about the major part. We are going to this. Let us be correct ourselves. Then we can try that. For that, the NGOs are there, for the governments are there. Okay, that we need to. I'll come into the how to also tap those people. Right. Next. So we are into the night driving. We are into the night driving subject. So if you see here. Okay, this video is on. I am showing that photo of that same video, right? Now I'm into this slide, same night driving slide. The vehicles that are stopping, they are not switching off their headlight. There are 3 positions are there on headlight. 1, 2, 3. In one position, there will be a dim light here. One rear side, one stop light will be there. That you're not blinding others. Otherwise, you switch off and hazard lights on. And again, common sense we need to use. Suppose street lights are there, okay, completely switch off, I say, and hazard lights. That is, you are in a parking position or you are in a stopping something. And when there is a no street light, please don't switch off. And again, just one small headlight, dim light will come so that you can completely clear, right? Another problem, like last time also discussed very quickly, I'll tell. Daytime running lights in other country, Europe countries, they have uh, day less day, so daytime is very less. So the visibility, it's very good on highways also. If we really see, we need to understand which vehicle is coming, at least that, okay, small dim light is there. That's why they made a headlight continue with the say 24 hours on. When you switch on your engine, headlight will be on. But as a road safety expert, even some experts, they agree with me, you not to keep directly with the headlight, right, connection. You give a separate light here, small light, daytime running light. So if you're keeping here, what happens? People, they always keep on high beam only. So what happens during sunrising, sunsetting time or afternoon, like I showed earlier, completely done. Please remove that one. I think they have removed it. I don't know. Okay, daytime running light. So another point, even when you are going in tunnels also, you can switch on your headlight where your, even rule says, if you see there is a CMVR lamps, in that lamps position they are given, wherever you feel, even daytime, you are not visible to other, you can just switch on your headlight, your lamps you can put on. So especially on tunnels, subways, and again you can switch off. These things you can do. As it and your mirror position also must, even in daytime, not only day, even nighttime also. So from here you can see the, so mirror. People, what they do during nighttime, they completely close the mirror, right? They are inviting the people, please, please come and hit me. This is like a weapon. You show, yes, at least in a during dark time, no street light, you want to take a turn, at least you will find some lights are focusing from rear side. You can see in my next slide, you can see in my next slide. So focus, right? So you won't do any immediate this thing. And there are certain questions. I'm driving, sir, full lights are focusing, and I'm feeling glare, I'm unable to move forward. So what we say, there is a small light you will find here. You can see that left side, switch on that headlight. So what happens when lights are focusing on a mirror here, again the race will cut short here. So simple, in a dark room, if I watch TV, I'll feel something, and in a tube light, and again watching TV, again मुझे दिखता है, आराम से I can see. So that is what compensation. Then again, the safety tips, again you uh, again reflective jacket and this thing, at least light color dresses when you are getting on the mid of the road, something happened, or safety triangle, these all things you need to carry. And buses also, when you're intercity, you are traveling, ensure during nighttime visibility is not there, sir. So all buses stop at Daba, fuel station, people go for a bio break and this thing, and ensure that driver, I tell the driver also, please put on your hazard light, parking light. I'm sorry to say, people are there, they are driving for 20-30 years also, they have not attended one-day session also. That is not their fault, because of our licensing system, because of road safety authorities we don't have. These are the all that's this a necessity. We need to tell, he may be a best driver, but still please switch on a headlight, hazard light, parking light. So here again, nighttime, when you get down for a tea or this thing, ensure people they're reversing, and again the 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, very dangerous timing, very dangerous timing. Take care. And again, there was a in companies also, there was a discussion in a buses and trucks also, two drivers are there, co-driver. So when I have to change, actually I feel 2 o'clock, this one, before 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock is the best time. And again, the mid 2, 3, 4 o'clock is a dangerous timing again. Both will be in a sleepy mode, though you are taken rest. So that we need to check at what time I need to hand over to the other driver. Then parking during night time, wherever CC cameras, when I go to the airport, or I'll check CC camera and where lightning, so that my vehicle will be in safe condition. not in a theft. Here, lastly, in this night driving, I'm a traveler now. I'm a traveler. I'm not a driver or a rider. What is my role? See this video, my practical video. I do practically. I got down at one of the place from bus stand. I got down from bus stop and one of the state. Then I used to do wherever I'm going for the training. When I take a cab or I check the lights. I'm checking practically. You can see here. I told the driver to switch on the headlight. Lights are glowing. Right. So I took that auto at evening somewhere 5:30. I told the driver, please switch on your headlight and stoplight I am checking. So this auto, last time also I said, same incidents happen. So one truck fellow will come. I'm sitting at behind. I'm not checking anything and paying. So headlight, one truck fellow will come without headlight, straight away hitting. Who will die? Myself, because I'm a passenger now. So you think your life value, and if you start doing it, there is no need of police. Everyone they'll start. Now customers without light, stoplight, people are not taking my car or my taxi. Automatically you can change. When sab log badlega, desh badlega. When people start changing, the country will change. Next, driving in rain. The good, interesting subject is how to drive in a rain. Rain is, what is rain actually? Starting the initial period is danger. On a road, before rain, mud, grease, oil, everything accumulated on the road. Rain started and it will become like a paste. Skidding will happen. First 10-15 minutes is dangerous. And people, oh, rain started. Those who don't have roof, they will run here and there, right? So, and especially you are in a comfortable position, car people, please give way for two-wheeler. And these two-wheelers also ensure you are preparing, you are going for a war. You carry all these weapons if you want to win the war. Right, raincoat, these are the basic things. At least Activa, these people, they can put 24 hours, 365 days, they can have one. So in my car also, I have two umbrellas, I have my raincoat, even my two-wheeler and this thing. You carry, no foldable, small raincoat is available. These things, as a defensive driver, we need to do. What happened? Just observe this video. One video is on, sir. Right, video is on. Warning video. Most of you saw this video. Okay, different trainer give different perception. So we are into the driving in rain. I will explain what exactly it is, right? So I'll pause here. I'll start my video here. First of all, let us keep that loose clothing, umbrella. Okay, that is one part. Leave it that one. That they need to keep. What exactly happens? Practically what happens? I am driving two-wheeler. In between, you can see me also. I am driving two-wheeler. So bus is far away. What we need to do? What is corrective action? So there is now here water is there. Right side there is a road. Straight away, you can see here my arrow. Straight away, come at safe position. Suppose bus is coming fast. The second option. And you are unable to hit. There is no chance. Give way to the bus. Either you go or give way. What happened here? Okay, I will also go. Bus also moving. Both at a time. What he will feel? Okay, bus will give way. Where is the steering is positioned onto the right side? You are in a blind spot. You are not visible. See and to be seen is not matching. So we should not do. Number one. And the driver. So what he does practically, if I go in a car or bus also, he will move my road. I want that road. I want that road. He's tried to grabbing that one. So what happened finally, he could not control. Then to safeguard from bus, there is no other chance. Then he straight away went onto the pothole. We don't know what is there underneath the pothole. Maybe good road, maybe pothole, maybe loose gravel. We don't know because completely it's a blanket of water. We can't find. So what is the learning here? So if you are in danger, don't give way. If you have chance, you go. So this thing, number of we are failing. And complete rain. So complete rain. then there is no problem. Every people they will settle, especially two-wheelers, all underneath they fly over with the plastic bags and this thing. So again, with umbrellas they go. Please avoid that all these things. So in pothole, now rainy season May, one video I am on waterlog area. Waterlog area, video is on, video off, right? So no worry, during waterlog area, when you go in a two-wheeler, government is provided underground parking, free parking. So after completion, you can take out your vehicle. So this type of pothole, I'm sorry to say, this is really waterlog area. How to go in waterlog area? The next learning, how we need to go in a waterlog area. Right? Now here, complete water, we don't know. You follow any vehicle, sir. The main important, please follow vehicle. Follow in the sense, observe. Following in the sense, now he is driving car, you are following two-wheeler, and he is safe, we are into the pothole. Because you need to see the tires. Even our own roads also danger. Sorry. So here, please follow. And after coming out of waterlog area, first and foremost thing, what you need to do, and we need to pump the brake. Okay, here again, I'm skipping this. Pump the brake. Coming out of water area. So what happened? Brake shoe, brake drum, or disc brake, whatever, or drum. So when you are pumping, it will squeeze. So again, even handbrake also 2-3 times you test after coming out of water line. Never, always here, once again I'm showing, you keep in first gear. Car people, two-wheeler on first gear, so that you can get traction. Sometimes you need to apply brake. Don't leave the accelerator, should not be more or less also. That time you can, normally we apply brake from the right foot. So here, so protect, handbrake will be useful. It happened practically even, and coming out of, again, pumping the brake, okay? Next in rainy season, more rain or road, hydroplaning, aquaplaning you'll find. The normal condition. What is hydroplaning, aquaplaning? I'll show you in the next photo. A thin film layer of water entering between tire and mother earth. That is called hydroplaning or aquaplaning. That means your traction is out of now. So again, tires, I think last session is very fantastic. Even I to learn certain beautiful points, the arrow mark about how the rotation. So tires to be, because ultimately you need to understand, we are your maybe defensive driver, perfect vehicle, but the tire and mother earth only, that grip is very much important. How you control, how that you will understand how it is lifted. There is a hydroplaning, aquaplaning happened. So again, I will not discuss much about the tire. You have seen last time also. So how to again overcome? What are the remedy? So you can see one video. You will see one video. This old video. One video. Skidding will happen. Sliding. Slides. Okay. So rear skid, front skid, that in snow we will discuss. So I stopped my video. So what is how the remedy? Release the accelerator. Don't press brakes. Release accelerator first of all. And like skiddings, there are two type of under skidding, over skidding. Under skidding, you are a wide turn, rear wheel will move. So the direction where the rear wheel is moving. Suppose the rear wheel is on right side. The vehicle is moving this way. I can show you. The vehicle is moving this way. So steering to the direction of the skid, the which direction when there is a rear wheel skid, so that the vehicle will come into the straight position. And suppose under skidding, you have limited of a turn, that time where that direction, then opposite direction you need to go for a under skidding. Okay, that in defensive driving trainings we can look up. Next, driving in a fog. Fog again, see, we have a beautiful country. We have snow, desert, fog, everything. Anyway, but we need to understand everything. Fog is a water vapor floating in the air. Sometimes visibility is more, sometimes visibility. Sometimes only with 1 meter, sometimes 50 meters, sometimes 100 meters also. Sometimes you'll find very completely visible, and unexpectedly you'll find a dense fog. So in a fog, the dense fog, it again, so here reduce your speed, the same thing points, roll down window. Here the reason you can hear, listen any or reflectors, and people here using hazard light, parking light. Please don't use parking light. Always drive in low gear only. Always drive in low beam headlight. Reason being, if you put in high beam, what is a fog? Is a water vapor. If high beam, it's water vapor in the sense it's like a mirror, so it will reflect. So in low beam, you can see the more vision. And speed, why we need to reduce? Because road, again, the wet, then again, skidding may happen. It's like initial rain, likewise. And where there is a marking, reflectors are there, where there is a divider, that time you can, as a guide, you can use. And more fog, our advice, please don't have. If you are in more fog, please don't drive. This is a small video. So fog, the denser fog, how the difference. Okay, go. So here, what we say, Delhi, Jaipur, maximum incidents happen. Number of incident, foggy timeline. So please don't put hazard light. What I'm showing is hazard light. People, 4 indicators, they keep and they go straight. Even drivers also, they taught them, okay, for going straight, hazard light, put hazard light. Wrong. It's a parking light or it's a hazard light. That's it. When, okay. So it's a confusion. Even it's a worldwide, they say indicators are there, right indicator, left indicator, and 4 indicators if your road is moving. It's a confusion. Then next, coming to the point, driving in snow and in foggy weather. Another point, suppose you don't have any fog light, you can put yellow paper, switch shop you'll find or something, temporary, sellotape something. Okay, driving in snow. This I experienced. I was in Kashmir in Kargil time. I was posted there, so we have experience as per that much experience. So again, you need to position your battery here. We need to mix up glycol. We need to mix up in fuel also. Mostly diesel engines won't run because again cold it, and you should not fill up completely. Even distilled water also mix up available, that wiper fluid for everything, right? And sometimes wiper will not work. Practically we need to move. Anyway, snow cutter will be there. They'll clear off, and the chain systems. That's why they change the tires actually. In other countries, for summer 1 tire, and again winter 1 tire, snow 1 tire. So because of our poverty and developing, we can't afford all these things. But certainly snow we should, because again we have discussed about the in snow also. Here you can see right side top photo, TCS, traction control systems are there. And now technology is well developed. Even heel assist, earlier we used to have a biting point, that heel and toe method. Now there is no even that, all everything sensors will work. So very sophisticated for the drivers. So before you start up, so ensure your side mirrors, everything visibility is there. Frequently you need to, and on ascending point, please don't stop. Again, it will roll back ascending position. So snow driving, okay, that no bad road condition. Here I need to take a time. Very important. This may not be adverse condition for other people, other countries, but for us, yes, certainly. What to do? I'll do. I show one crash investigation which we have done in the bad road condition. Okay. Now, one investigation I have done here. If you see near Vishakhapatnam, Anakapalli, that one area, one incident happened. So what is that incident? Because of road condition, one person died. Now in FIR, everywhere in FIR, they always, okay, this vehicle hitting, okay, he is at fault, he is at fault, that's all. Or he is at fault or pedestrian is at fault. Always blaming road user. And because of road problem also, there are certain problems. Now I'll show you practically this step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Step 1, what happened? The R&B department, sorry, I'm naming it because it's already filed in FIR and I myself done the investigation. Not to mind because, okay, R&B department, they have done digging work. And after digging part, They have done off job and they left it. The next, the same night, one two-wheeler was traveling. He is a regular traveler on the. I'll show you 2D animation which are prepared. So because of this, he was unexpected. Actually, morning digging happened. Evening he was going back home, and straight away hitting one truck, and he died. After incident, see step 4. Within minutes, within one morning hours, completely that road we got. That means what is authority? What I'm not blaming, because see, we need to understand, shall we wait for any death or then only I will take action? No, we need to do. This is a very good example. And this incident, how it happened, I'm showing you. This is the direction of Ankappally side, and this is the area where the here trucks were moving. You can see my left side, trucks were moving. The two-wheeler was moving from right side, and he could not judge this. There is a broken condition there. They left it like that without any warning signs, right? And now clear everything. Here this incident happened. In 2D animation, you can see this is a vehicle, and he is around 55 years of age. This is his helmet part, substandard helmet. It's old, more than 5 years of old. Anyway, that is different. Helmet is not a reason for accident, maybe fatality. Here injury happened on near chest and this portion, and he could not take breath, and ultimately the result he died. And this was the two-wheeler condition. So this is my 2D animation. I'm showing you how that incident happened. 3 trucks were following 2-lane road. You can see 2-lane road, and the two-wheeler regularly is regular route. So then he was taking a overtaking here this portion, and there was a again road works were going on without any indication. Then again straight away fallen onto the left side of the truck side, and there was a no side protection, and he died on the spot. So ultimately, first here in FIR, and we ensured there should be a pothole, they should be involved. So whenever I request all the participants, if any incident happen, even police transport department, I know they are please attending. So request, let us change, let us concept change. Okay, in incident happen, large vehicle, tap that large vehicle. If a person coming in a speed hitting, one investigation in daytime I have done, in 40 kilometer speed, one truck was moving, car going in 100 kilometer speed, straight away he was ascending and hitting. What in FIR they have written? The truck applied sudden brake, applied abrupt brake and hitting. 40 kilometer ascending in a load, and this is a 100 kilometer speed, because all the people died because to fetch. No, let us make it very clear FIRs. If there is a road problem, let us incident, signal problem, this problem, or street problem. Everyone should be involved. Their percentage is contribution. Always blaming a road users will not work out. Yes, road users contribution is more. I understood. 70 to 80% are road users. So the probable causes we have seen, there was a no signboards, and he was honking. Actually, two-wheeler was asking, and these trucks could not give way, right? So that's why even we should have a giveaway culture. Anyway, this one. So in different road conditions, there is a loose gravel. You'll find loose gravel. 10-15 minutes will take. Loose gravel in the sense, if you go fast, what happened? That stone will fall and hit someone who is walking. And here we want steering. Your steering should be perfect. This way, hold steering. What happened? The steering column, then again there is a suspension system, then again it is holding tire, even the tires, everything will be in a good. You can be positioned, you can have control on your vehicle. And here, like this roads, what happened? The trees, where is the grass, they say again it will become like a pace. The corner again skidding happen. In a speed, road is good, fantastic road. Because of that road mixing with the leaves, everything, it will become like a pace, and skidding may happen. So again, reduce your speeds. Then potholes, as we discussed. So here, irregular feature you will find in city, in everywhere also. Pothole is there without any intention. We will just because pothole we go here. We need to observe the rear mirror also. So the real person, what we need to understand, when pothole is there, observe the front vehicle. Last time I said observation, anticipation, reaction. Remember, your observation is pothole. You saw the two-wheeler, then only you'll understand the two-wheeler anticipation. He will go cross, means he will not go above the pothole. He will go for right side. You slow down. That's it. What we need to do. Then driving in hot summer. The next subject we are going for a driving in hot summer. Right now, hot summer. Now here, even sanitizer, fire extinguisher, quickly should not keep. They on windscreen they keep. On windscreen, please don't, because sunrise, the blast also happened, and there was a broken glasses also, front windscreen also broken. So where we need to position, just check it. And again, you need to check when you're preparing for a summers, the tire pressure, right? Even less tire pressure also danger. And again, your fluid level, you need to have first aid servicing, and prepare your journey. Prepare your journey. Okay, that will come. Children, most of the in summers, the whether engine on or off, please don't keep your persons inside the vehicle. Number of incident happened. They have to break the glass. So to break the glass here, suffocation will happen. They go for some shopping. So this is the hammer. You can see here, this is a emergency hammer pointed portion. This is seatbelt cutter. You can, this is my seatbelt, you can see, and this is cut my seatbelt, right? So this you need to keep. If you don't have, remove the headrest, and with that portion you can break the glass. This corner portion is the best portion. From corner, not middle, that corner, then you can break easily. Then again, glare, to avoid glare, windscreen should be. In a rainy season, one more thing I've forgotten here also, wiper you need to change every 6 months. You need to change, check the wiper, otherwise the glass will get spoiled. And plan your journey, and have cooling glasses, everything. So how you can plan? Suppose summer, na, I try to avoid driving on mid of the around and before 12 o'clock, noon, here and there. Reason being, maximum some 4 o'clock I'll travel, suppose long driving. So maximum we can cover. And heat, if you are traveling, the tire blowout or anything can happen. So again, check the air condition. You should not get suffocation, dehydration, and sufficient water, right? So this is my one of the, I was doing driving test. Video is running. Video is running. Just 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. So if you see the driver on right side and left side, we were doing driving test general. In summer, you'll find sunlight. So just even sunrising, sunset time also, we will face this problem. Video stop. Don't not to mind. Video is running. I'm speaking. Okay. Now going through forest or rural area, I'm not going for much deeper into it. There are certain forest range when we was traveling in Sikkim, that side also, northeast, even Orissa, Maharashtra, whatever it is. So here clearly given elephant corridor or rhinos are there. No honking, and whenever even cattle, it will jump here and there. And cattle, when you are facing on rural area, give a dipper mode, headlight dipper mode, so that, or headlight on, it will not come to your. So that way, if you are honking, what happened? Some two-wheeler is going in a fast, it will hit the two-wheeler, right? So again, avoid that one. Very careful in forest area. Some areas in Sri Salem here also, if you are after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they won't allow. Checkpost will be there, forest checkpost. Respect the wild animals, right? And driving in hill terrain. Okay, driving in hill terrain quickly. Always hill is again a challenging part. Most of the northeast and even Maharashtra, that middle of Vindhyachal, this areas also. What are the things we can see? Observe. Observe the video. Observe the video. Video is on. Because of bandwidth, I am speaking. Not mine. One truck is ascending. One truck is ascending towards one company. Observe the two cars behind the truck. I'll stop the video. Most of the in hill areas, in plain area, you'll find roads like T junctions. Here, maximum Y junctions only, maximum in hill area because of space concern. So what is the learning here? Heavy vehicle should not bring to the neutral. Anyway, that olden days technology is gone. If they used to bring neutral, they used to sell fuel. Now, always in a gear, you prepare the traction well in advance. At terrain traction, this is the terrain, I will keep in this traction, right? Low gear ascending, low gear descending, that is what. And the other important part is the two cars. Two cars, they are very intelligent. Well in advance, they kept in a gap. In case of emergency, you keep. This we can practice in cities also, on flyovers, on cellars. You are going for a shopping mall, parking P2, P3, P4, sorry, whatever. So then this position you can keep gap, no problem. Without gap also no problem. But this way, if he's rolling down, what happened? So ensure handbrakes, people practice that handbrake. So they are smart people, two cars straight away, they got alert because they kept a gap, following distance. They maintained a following distance. So in a hilly area, always give way for a ascending vehicle. You can see this video. Video is running, I'm speaking. Ascending traffic, position in such a way so that if you are moving, what happen? The rear wheel, most of the incidents happen, large vehicle from rear wheel only, the death happens. So this way you protect. Okay. Now, next, again, you have to be in hilly area. Another, be prepared for surprises. Any animals there are, because in Meghalaya, I saw in Meghalaya side also, the forest is very close. It's a hilly area, is a in between forest only, forest area. So very careful about the animals, and we don't know what is the other side. So speed as per visibility, we have discussed in last session, and no overtaking. Here one wrong thing is there. See, there is a broken line. They are on bend. They have to keep continue lines. Next time we can have a session on road signs and road marking. I'll explain in detail. Anyway, so no, ultimately learning is no taking on a bends, visibility, speed as per visibility. Hill terrain, another important part, sliding rocks. Sorry. So I stop the video. No overconfidence. So you stop here, even honk. You have two honks in especially heavy vehicles, sorry, not for car. There is a city, they have to drive one small kick, or one major. Even that halls, because of horn also, the sliding rocks may fall. Even in Chiplan area, Maharashtra, Goa, Ratnagiri, that side, Goa, that area. Even in Sikkim side, North Sikkim, Mangan, that area also you'll find Arunachal or Mizoram. So sliding rocks, take care about the sliding rock you have. And another in hilly area, you have occasional flooding. You have like this symbol in India, even Nepal area you'll find. Right side I have taken photo somewhere, I have forgotten. Left side, that is a downloaded one. Okay, you can see. So in hilly area, sometimes road is like a dip, and there is a culvert, no support will be there. So water, well in advance they have given warning. There is a flooded area, occasional flooding will be there. So please take care. You have seen recent WhatsApp what happened. They're driving in some sandstorm or dust storm. Again, impaired visibility. Again, we are ability. Again, small particles also will fly. Even I'll show you video. Even that water bottle also will fly. Likewise, particles. So prepare, sir, when there is a dust storm, especially in Rajasthan sector. I was in Rajasthan also. When we were driving two-wheelers, they won't wear helmet and nothing like this. Protect yourself. Protect. The helmets are there, visors are there, and you can wear zero if you don't have this thing. Zero glass. Protect yourself, and some small jacket, pink jacket available. So whatever, you can see the video. You can see the video. See how sometimes what happened, it will throw the cyclist, pedestrian, vulnerable road users, even two-wheelers also. So your grip should be perfectly, two-wheelers, your grip should be perfectly, or car. And here if you feel more than, again, suppose you are overtaking here any truck and loaded one, and because of that wind portion also, that it may fall, you may be a perfectly or nothing, but see the difference. You are crossing that one, here wind will be there, here no wind, but this vehicle may fall above us, our vehicle. So ensure that environment situation we need to understand. First we need to understand what is the dangers here and how to overcome, what are the consequences, how I can protect myself. These are the things. Last and final one slide, that is driving in desert. Okay, I know some people might have went to Dubai, driver, they have classes also, desert driving, Abu Dhabi, they have. Anyway, desert driving, simple logic in India, where there is a tire marks, you go there only. Separately, then again skidding may happen. Suppose tire touching 2-inch ka pakade, just deflate double, that double, not more. So that's why you will find in Rajasthan sector in military vehicles, they have balloon type tires. That's why that the grip between the road here. Separately, the skidding may take place. Tractor, what I observed in the sense, I have done recoveries also. Tractor recovery vehicle is anyway good. Another tractors also very good for recovery. And here reverse gear is a perfect gear to this thing if you want to. And ensure the grip is main important, and the tire marks, there you need to go. So this is what we have discussed today. Sorry. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'm happy to answer any questions, and also I can learn if you want to give any suggestions also. Most welcome. Thank you very much. Next time we can have different subject. So I stop sharing my screen now. Stop sharing screen. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dhirendra, for your very interesting explanation about precautions and care to take in during specific conditions of drive, like rain, during rain, night, and also during hilly driving on deserts, etc. I remember when I went to Badrinath, the local drivers always complain that all the drivers who are there living in hills drive very safe, but the drivers who come from cities like Delhi are the ones who create all the problems because they don't follow the control what they have about overtaking, etc. And that's what actually they complain that results in accidents. I think it's for our city drivers who should actually imbibe all these practices.
Okay.
The locals seems to be doing well in hills. There are some questions from
Please,
participants. I will try to take up as many as possible. Please share some insight about headlight norms in Central Motor Vehicle Act and some cases on improper lighting mistakes generally done by vehicle owners which result in accidents.
right, sir. So, okay, headlight regarding rules.
Yeah, headlights
So,
only. Yes.
actually, earlier we used to have a amber light, sir. Amber, that orange light, which is very good for visibility, and even like if you see fog also, it's a yellow color, amber light. I don't know why they have changed it to white light. So that is again a manufacturing problem. Even earlier, I saw in CMVR also, specifically they are given orange light, but now I'm unable to find the color. There is a color coding. So even if you go for a new vehicles, all they are coming up with a white lights. But I checked with the eye doctors. If we see, I said 2 seconds blind, it's a partially blind. It's a partial blind, not, but certainly white light, if you see the difference between orange light and white light, the compensation is different, and white light, the glare will be more. Actually, we need to make this rule. They should have only orange light, like earlier what we used to have. That is one point. And apart from that, now battery vehicles are coming up, now two-wheelers. Even they are keeping that halogen like tube lights, small. Instead of headlight, even autos, they have started their own lights. So we need to have a one strict enforcement. One is manufacturing side to cup only this. They have to be specifically clear. We need to have these lights, and also avoid this type of light. The enforcement should be very. They have to be strict for not keeping this another type of light apart from manufacturing.
There's one question, one request. Please share some insight about breakdown maintenance, parking in expressway, and measures to ensure safety.
Parking in expressway. Okay.
For maintenance, I mean breakdown maintenance basically.
Okay. When
If
they
the
were
vehicle breakdown is there on the highway, what
okay,
precautions need to be taken?
correct. So here on highway, if you are traveling, a highway, we have one number 1033. Please note down that is a 1033, like foreign country 911. So 1033. Okay. Now, whenever you are traveling on highway and this thing, first of all, you are paying toll. You have a toll slip. So in case of emergency, you can you will have that number. Emergency numbers are given in the toll receipt. Okay, nowadays, okay, I'm using FASTag, I don't have slip. Okay, the second option. So on mid of the highway, whenever you are traveling, suppose Nagpur, Delhi, I'm traveling. On highway, in the begin, you will find one board, emergency number, emergency number. Just have a pause, take photo and keep it. In case of emergency, you can just see in your photo. So wherever I am traveling on highway, this practice you have need to make it. Clear, sir? So everywhere information boards are there. These are the emergency vehicles can, and put extreme left side, hazard lights on, and your safety triangle will be there 50 meters in advance, 50 meters, so that well in advance you can see some that too in an angle, so that this driver has to observe that one. So that is the emergency tackling will come, right? Okay, this number, note down the number and toll slip. This is what we can help out.
There's another question regarding drivers taking break for tea, dinner during long drives. What are the recommended intake food and quantity for safe driving?
For safe driving, very clear. Long driving people, car people, every, like last session I told, every 2 hours stop your vehicle, whether you are tired or not tired also. You need to stop your vehicle for at least few seconds. So you need to plan your journey in that pattern. Okay, 10-15 minutes here and there, no problem. And two-wheeler people, every 1 hour you need to stop, every 1 hour. Just long driving. If you are going for 300
Virendra, I think the
kilometers,
question is regarding what food the driver can eat and how much
okay.
quantity. How much quantity?
Quantity. That actually, then dietitian is the best answer. Okay, as a road safety expert, also I'll explain. Not to take completely. So if you have 4 chapati, normally we have. Now I'm going for a driving. So you take it as an installment. This I have practiced it. So suppose I'm taking 4 chapati, right, sir, in a lunch. Now I need to go for a driving. You take one. Again after break 1, 2, likewise, because you need to have your healthy as well as this also fatigue you can avoid.
There's one question regarding the problems of the mask actually.
Mask, okay.
Post-COVID, due to use of mask, fog forms on drivers' eyeglasses. What are the ways to avoid this, since this can be also be dangerous?
Correct. Good question. Like foggy weather also, even rain mixed with this also. Anyway, fog, even if I keep here, here this will moisture will form. So in car, actually, one single person without mask also rule also came. I think they can go without.
Single person.
But when 2 persons are there, 2, so you need to wear mask. So literally we say, okay, remove here, because our own people are there, suppose, otherwise plastic sheet are there. So ultimately it's a like a common sense we need to apply. Even cycling, it's a very danger. So likewise, so you can have sheet. Otherwise, best way we have one face mask, that also instead of fog, instead of mask. This thing, some alternate jugaad. Anyway, we are famous in jugaad. Okay. Nice.
There are some more questions.
Yes, sir, please.
What is the minimum distance for heavy vehicle to use the headlight dim and bright during night time?
Headlight.
Yeah.
Headlight for all, it is like a low beam 50-55 meters, and it is a headlight position. First of all, here position is important, sir. Now there is a testing in transport department. There will be, when they go for a fitness test, they have here the mid of the, when where there is a base point, and they'll throw it to the wall. Okay, this length, then the focus, the center focus needs to be adjusted accordingly. That fitness time or servicing time we need to check, and again as per height, and again it should focus through complete same like car what I shown, left or more, right less. So likewise the adjustment is there, and the distance also between right and left also to be more, but ultimately the rear stoplight red color should be 100 to 155 meters visibility. The person from far away, he should see that light, and for two-wheeler people 75 meter.
There's a question here. During night driving, which light is better, either white or yellow?
For every time I say yellow is better, sir. For every time is yellow is better. White is anyway, it's disturbing other traffic. I practically observed. Now scientifically I need to check.
So if I recollect properly, in France there is a regulation to use yellow bulbs on headlights.
Right.
Because we used to export vehicles to France and we used to
You can answer your Maruti.
change to yellow bulbs. However, I mean, my question is, if that is so, then why all international regulations call for only white bulbs?
That's a controversy. Regulations are different, sir. I understood that we need to check. But ultimately, what observe white light will straight away that attraction will be, and it will be more time will become blind. As I said, 30 kilometers if you are traveling, and if you into 1000 by 16 to 60 in 30 kilometer speed, 2 seconds blind, you're blindly or crossing 16 meters. So impairing to other, blinding other people. So better anyway that whether white light or yellow light, as of now that is a regulation different. So as a road user, my request is never see here, this you need a practice, whether white light, get practice to see the peripheral vision. At least that as of now we can do that one.
Actually, there is a participant, Mr. Vinayak Joshi, who says he is also a trainer and he wants to share something.
Oh,
so,
please,
Swati,
please.
Can you connect him? Swati?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Swati?
Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me, Dhirendra?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Dhirendra. Good evening. In
good
fact,
evening.
the way, you were talking about everything, when the night driving, you were discussing about the white light also.
Yes.
I'm also a defensive driver training in I was working with Escorts Limited earlier for more than 20 years with JCBs and Hydra cranes and all that. I was service manager there, and after leaving Escorts in 2000, then I started my own business of defensive driving training programs. You see, in night driving, you get blind. Okay, try to understand the main reason. Now, the main reason is this. There are two, one is called center vision and the other one is called as side vision.
Yes.
When suppose, Dhirendra, I'm talking to you and I'm looking at your, that is called eye-to-eye contact.
Right.
That time, that center vision is only 3 degrees.
Right.
Okay, the center vision is only 3 degrees, and at that time, suppose now I am looking at you, eye-to-eye contact, at that time, we can see so many other things also.
Yes.
That is called side vision. Okay, so now the side vision and center vision, the main difference why you get blind is this, that when you look at anything, suppose, and that white color you are saying, that is called xenon light. Right. I am member of SIAM also, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturer. White color xenon light are officially not allowed by the manufacturer, but nowadays all these dealers, they are fitting all these things. This question was raised into the last year meeting also, in the SIAM meeting. In fact, yesterday only we had SIAM conference. Okay. Now that point was not raised, but this point was raised last 3, 4, 5 years. I am raising this point about the white color light. Officially, it is not allowed. The white color xenon light. Okay, let's xenon, XENON. That is called xenon light. Okay. Right. Now another thing, what we were discussing about getting blind. You just think of this. Suppose no, you are getting into some theater, cinema theater, and cinema already started. You are delayed by say 5-10 minutes. Right. For first few seconds, you cannot see anything. Correct. Okay. For first few things, why that? That is called the eyeball setting. Okay. Right. That is called eyeball setting. That eyeball setting takes, now that depending upon what you said, the aging effect. Okay. Like I'm very young of 20, then that eyeball setting will be only for 2 seconds. I am 60 now, 60 plus. So that eyeball setting, I may take 5-6 seconds also, depending upon the aging effect.
Right. Okay? Right.
So now, because of that aging effect, the eyeball setting, that takes long time. Okay. And for that time, then you are totally blind. Right. Okay. That 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, depending upon the aging effect. So the best thing is this, that you do not look at those headlights. Okay. Because some people are there who do not know how to do this, upper and down and all that thing. There's people, they are not aware of this. स्पेशली ट्रक पीपल, दैट डंडा जो है ना वो टूटा हुआ रहता है उनका। वो ऑटो मैकेनिक जो है उसने डायरेक्ट बना के रखा हुआ है, ओके, जुगाड़। यू सेड वी आर वेरी गुड इन जुगाड़, सो जुगाड़ बना के रखा हुआ है उसने, डायरेक्ट लाइट बना के रखा हुआ है। सो द मेन थिंग इज दिस कि डू नॉट लुक एट दोज हेडलाइट्स बाय योर सेंट्रल विजन, बट लुक एट दोज हेडलाइट्स बाय योर साइड विजन, and at that time you concentrate on your headlights and look at the left side only, because left side में आप नीचे घुस जाएंगे कहीं।
Correct.
You reduce your speed.
Now latest focus.
Like yes, correct. Like, and the other one you were talking about, that accident which took place. You were saying कि वो सब किया है. That is called overriding of your headlight. You know what is overriding of clutch, ना? Clutch के ऊपर में पाव रख के गाड़ी चलाते हैं. That is called overriding of clutch. Similarly, there is something called overriding of your headlight. कि हेडलाइट में आपका कितना दिखता है उतना ही स्पीड रखेंगे, so
we need to
control your vehicle.
Mr. Joshi, I think I have to take more questions.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you very much for your.
Thank you, Joshi ji. Genuine points, and thanks for your.
Bye.
There is a query regarding for best braking efficiency. What type of tires do you recommend? I thought the answer was very obvious.
Tires anyway. I think last session is.
Sudarshan has radial tires.
But ultimately, you see the depth of the tire 1.6 mm, and that we have discussed last time also. You can watch the video. Okay. Any other questions, sir?
Just check. I think more or less we have covered most of them, because there are a lot of questions regarding headlights only, how to adjust.
Okay, because
we have already covered.
Right, sir.
Swati, any other question from your side?
No, I think we are good, sir. Let's wrap up the session.
So thank you, Dhirendra, again for your very interesting, very informative, very educative session about driving in adverse conditions. I'm sure the participant would have learned a lot about what you have said, and I'm sure everybody will follow all the tips what you have given for safe driving to prevent any accidents on the road. Thank you very much.
Right.
Over to you, Swati.
Thank you, Dhirendra sir. Thank you, Avirav sir, for the amazing session. Thank you, everyone who has joined us on a Sunday to attend this session. And I hope you will implement these tips that Dhirendra sir has given in your life and drive safe. So I hope I'll see you all again for our next session, and the details will be sent to you soon. Thank you. Have a nice day.